Hi, my name is Stephanie, and these are my two adorable and handsome sons. And that is my ex-husband, attorney Dennis Spurling. He practices personal injury law and will be more than happy to help you with claims arising from automobile accidents. He doesn't get paid unless you get paid. And as we first wives know, the more our ex-husbands get paid, the more we get paid. So let me help him help you. Call Mr. Spurling at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy. Hi, my name is Dennis Spurling. I'm not a lawyer, but my daddy is. Yeah, if you've been hurt in a car accident, call my daddy. No need to scream and yell like a little kid. Yeah, no yelling. My daddy will fight for your rights. Yeah, fight for your rights. If you've been involved in a car accident, call my daddy, attorney Dennis Spurling.
Hello, I'm attorney Dennis Spurling. If you've been injured in a car wreck, call me at 713-229-0770.
Call my daddy.
Dramatization.
Bad drivers cause car wrecks. Not paying attention to the road, operating electronic devices, and drinking while driving can lead to serious injuries. If you've been the victim of a bad driver, a trial lawyer may be able to help you recover money to pay your medical bills, reimburse you for lost wages, and compensate you for the pain caused by your injuries.
If you, your friends, or family have been injured in a car wreck, contact me, attorney Dennis Spurling, toll free, 866-529-2444. I'm here to help.
Those you black women who are listening to me, if you're a good black woman, this don't fucking apply to you. I'm talking to these hoes out here taking advantage and talking shit. This doesn't apply to you. Don't step in this motherfucking war zone, because I'll fuck you up too. Y'all had 50 years of sitting by watching these horrible, ridiculous ass women talk shit about black men. And you did nothing. You sat there, you kikied, and you laughed. I ain't fucking with y'all. I'm leaving y'all alone. I'm giving you a pass. I get it. Women don't like to attack other women in public. I fucking get it. Don't jump in this motherfucker trying to defend these women for this horrible behavior. We will fuck you up too. Okay? Don't jump in this shit, because by not saying anything about it, you tacitly agreed to their activities. So stay out of this shit. This is necessary. This is a culling that's happening right now. So mind, turn the other way, go back to your husbands and your children, sit your asses down and shut the fuck up, and let these strong men that you've been asking for deal with these rotten, savage ass hoes that's out here messing up your reputation. Because see, some of us have daughters. Some of us have wives that are black. Some of us have sisters and mothers that are black. And we don't want to get them caught up into this whole shit. And we don't want their reputation to be shit on. We don't want them to have to go in public and be looked upon like they're some fighting in the motherfucking airport hose. Scrapping in the Walmart hose. Shit talking loud ass, disrespectful. We don't want our daughters to get caught up with that. So let us men deal with these hoes. Since y'all was unable to do it, here we are. We're going to deal with it. You have 55 years. You didn't do what you were supposed to do. You sat back, you let them do what they wanted to do, and now it's our turn. They should have listened to you, but they didn't. And now they what? Now they about to get it from the men.
like that clap. Woo! Not bad to be light skin, huh?
If you can hear me, big shout out to Simple Shit TV, Broken Blade. Who else we got up here? Where my members at, man? Sleep with my third eye open. RDD, shout out to you. Solo Dolo, been here for a minute. The Watcher, shout out to you, bro. Sick with it, yo. Broken Blade, I already gave you a shout out, man. Big shout out to everybody who's up in here. Arrowhead, Jamal Smith, man. We got a lot of brothers up in here, man. And Kenyatta. Ali, thank you so much. I appreciate all the membership. And big shout out to all the folks in here who are part of the wrench mob, man. So we're gonna get this thing started now. Unless you've been living under a rock, you already know that Kang the Conqueror, also known as an actor named Jonathan Majors, has been arrested. And I wanted to take my time to kind of analyze this and try to make it something that you can actually learn from. Now, for those of you guys who don't know, Jonathan Majors was arrested on Saturday, March 25th, allegedly for strangling and assaulting and harassing his 30-year-old girlfriend. Now, the thing about his girlfriend is a white woman, white American woman. And as you guys know, Jonathan Majors is a black man from California. You know, the actor, through his lawyers, he's gone through a great length to try to prove his innocence. His lawyer even said that he's probably the victim. And claiming that there are numerous pieces of evidence to support his position, including videotape, witnesses, and whatnot. But here's the thing: the charges are already showing an impact on his career, right? The U.S. Army, they promptly pulled a campaign featuring him as a star. And this is days after his arrest. And there are even conversations going on in Marvel Studios, who's at this point remained silent on the situation surrounding whether or not he's going to continue being able to play that role as Kang the Conqueror, or the actor Kang. And, you know, the thing is, they haven't made their decision yet, and they don't know what's up with the future, and they don't know what's going to be up with the franchise moving forward as far as Jonathan Majors is concerned. Okay. Now, that said, this may just be another black man being accused of something he didn't do. But maybe this is just a matter that in that particular situation there in New York, there's a mandatory arrest. And if he meets the criteria, then he gets arrested. Or this may be a situation where the police overreacted for what could have been possibly a minor infraction. Even his girlfriend, allegedly, he says not his girlfriend, but she's saying she's the girlfriend. The news media is calling her the girlfriend. She regrets the call. Okay. Now, here's the thing. What do we have here? What are we looking at? We're looking at a black male actor, at best, a black male actor falsely being accused of domestic violence by his white girlfriend. Okay. Yeah. Now, what I found interesting is there's been almost a rejoicing on the internets coming from black American women and these pro-blacks, I call them blackity blacks, saying he shouldn't have had a white girl. But here's the thing, and I want y'all to hear me. What about all these KK Keishas that have called the police on their black men? Where they at? See, what I see happening is deflection from the community. When white women do it, so that we don't check them. But everybody knows there are more black men in jail or dead behind a KK Keisha than anything that a Karen can do. There are women, black American women, that have done the same. How many black men are in prison or engraved behind a woman who called her brothers and her cousins and her family on that man? Yet they want to act confused and surprised when the brothers start getting their passports and going to the Philippines and refusing to interact with them, refusing to date them, refusing to marry them. The fact that the police will call is nothing new to us. Matter of fact, it's so common amongst black men that we already know what to do. What do we tell when the police get called? Relationship is over, ma'am. Anytime the police are called, it's time to end the relationship. Why? Because for black men, encounters with the police are potentially life-threatening. And once the police get involved, the decision-making is already done. We broke up. We're done at that moment. The police are now your significant other, or your boyfriend or your husband. Pack your things and remove yourself not only from my place of living, but also my house. My first wife, and I write about this in my book. I told her I was breaking up with her. The next day, the police was at my front door. Even if I thought about reconciling with her, at that point, it was over. We got a pretty decent relationship. We done did a TV show together. But you can't get mad because I'm getting a divorce and now you trying to do something shady. Oh, no. But that's what they do. Black women know they can do it because black men have a special relationship with the police in the United States. Matter of fact, we have a special relationship with law enforcement in the United States. In the court system. That's why you always have black American women always bragging about taking black men to court for child support, for kids that they might be paying for. How many of you dudes know dudes who've been paying money for women who have kids for them, just giving them money every week, every 2 weeks, whatever. And then she turned around and put him on child support because he decides to get married or he gets a new girlfriend. Y'all know that. And so now he's got to pay all that back child support, plus keep paying his child support. So you got arrearages and everything to go. How about this? You got dudes paying for children that aren't theirs. And the stats show that there's a 30% chance if you suspect that the child is not yours and you take the DNA test, there's a 30% chance that that child is not even yours. Look at this situation with old girl who shot her husband on Facebook Live and then lied and said he pushed his way in after she asked him to leave. You basically saw a black woman who murdered her boyfriend or child's father with the mother, black mother, cheering. Y'all saw it on TV. Y'all saw it on Facebook. It might have been her husband. And so what this proves is that irregardless of color of skin, modern westernized women are a liability. That woman shot her husband dead on Facebook in front of her mother, who instigated this mess and gassed her daughter up with children in the house. Those children saw that body dead on the ground after hearing the gunshot coming out of their room. There's a video floating around right now. You can tell it's premeditated. She literally tells him while pushing him off the camera that it was going to be a murder scene. She didn't even call 911 to help him. She just stated she didn't want to go to jail. She even told one of her daughters who was crying about seeing her daddy dead, your daddy's dead. Rubbing it in. Now, what are the lovely ladies doing out here? The Black American women on YouTube and Twitter, they're blaming him for lying, saying he cheated due to supposedly sliding in another woman's DM. What if men start shooting women for cheating and talking to other men and sliding into other men's DMs and meeting other men for lunch and having drinks with them and flirting with people at the bar? Would y'all justify that, ladies? Would that in any way be justified? Hell no. You know goddamn well it'll be an uproar. He's too controlling. He's too possessive. That's exactly what that woman was. But y'all won't say that. But you can get away with that line of foolishness because of the relationship that black men have with the police and black men have with the legal system. Meanwhile, there are 4 children who no longer have a father. Now, at least Jonathan Majors is still alive. Hell, his girlfriend, or I'm assuming, I hope if the brother got any sense, or anybody with any senses around him, is even recanting her story. Probably because there's video evidence. Probably because it happened in the cab and there's witnesses and witness statements that he didn't do anything wrong. There's even text messages that are backing him up where she's apologizing. Nevertheless, like I said earlier, there's dozens of examples of KK Keishas doing these things to black men and black children. Shout out to my man MC Recover Wellness. He said, the book of Sympology, chapter 2, be careful of who you let in your circle, for it could damage you, your image, and the bag. It sure in the hell will. And that's what we're talking about today, fellas. I'm going to land this plane. I'm going to land this space rocket in a minute. But again, I'll go back to that woman in Columbus, Mississippi, murdered her husband in cold blood. And the first words were, I don't want to go to jail. Forget about the fact that she murdered someone or the fact that those are his children. Her main concern was not about the consequences that she was, not about the man and the life that she took, but about the consequences that she was going to have to suffer for her actions, something she knew she wouldn't be able to slide out of. Now, they're going to try like hell and say, oh, she was the victim of domestic V. You know that. You know what they do. He pushed himself in. It was self-defense. Because, see, let me explain something in the black community for those of you guys who don't know. You're not allowed to bring up black women's violence against black men or their children. How many times have you black men been hit upside the head by your mama as a little boy? How many times have you young black men, older black men, been punched or kicked or something like that by your black mothers? Hit the number 1 button if it's happened to you. Hit the number 2 button if you know somebody it's happened to. I'm going to hit 1 and 2. Okay? How about that? Because we know it happens. We know it's happening. You're never allowed to talk about black women's violence towards black men. You're never allowed to talk about black women who call the police on black men just so they can exert control. You're never allowed to do that. The only time you are allowed to do it is in a comical sense. But you're never allowed to hold them accountable for what they do. So before y'all start, all you blackity blacks and you black American women and you pro-black dudes, before you start blaming this white woman, oh, he shouldn't have dated a white woman, let's not forget all of the stuff that black American women have done to black men. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget the proxy violence where you call your cousins or call the police or get a man put in jail or take his children away from him. We're not going to we're going to focus on you for that. Let me give you some names that you won't forget. My man Freedom MMC said the Queen Mother Goddess Simp Chip will activate in the DA to give her a plea bargain or the judge's chip will give her a short sentence. Oh, yeah, heaven forbid the brother have any sort of criminal record. Oh, my God, she might get off scot-free. This is nothing new. Happens all the time in the black community. It's so common it happens to a lot of stars. Gervonta Davis, what about him? Y'all remember him? What about him? What about Brian Banks? Huh? What about him? What about him? What about Adrian Payne? What about him? He never got his name cleared. What about him? So many. What about that young brother, Merlin Santana? Y'all remember him? Malika Andrews. They slandered his name even when he died. See, the truth is, brothers, relatively speaking, and let's just have an honest conversation. Let's just be honest. I know Jonathan Majors, I get it. But the truth is, as far as directly doing something to you, brothers, directly doing something to you, I'm not talking about the greater system and, the mass majority. But as far as white people, they've not done anything directly to you. It's these queens, it's these KKK Keishas, and these simp enforcers. They're the only ones doing stuff to you. These baby mama raised emotional dudes, carjacking and robbing. White men ain't out there carjacking you. White women ain't calling the police on you like that. White women are not keeping you from seeing your kids. It's our own people doing it to us, specifically these lovely ladies and men who think like the lovely ladies. So let's ask this question, because here's the underlying question. I want you to hear me on this. The question is, we live in this system and we understand this system because we're about to go deep. Some pro-blacks, they will tell you, leave that white woman alone, she's no good for. Basically, they're telling you, this system is no good for you. And then they turn around and they still stay in this system. Shout out to Robert Platinum. He said, B woman had a man blow my brother's best friend brains out on my brother's dashboard. Damn. She bragged about it on the bus and I was there. She died and all of her friends said she was a great woman. Damn, bro. Damn, bro. My God. You see what I'm saying? These pro-blacks avoid, they act like they hate white folks. They act like these brothers just love white women. Let me just speak for myself. I don't hate anybody. I don't hate white people. I don't hate anybody. You shouldn't hate anyone. I'm aware of the racist element and I detest that section. But I don't waste my energy or brain cells hating one group of people or another. There's nothing to gain from it hating an entire race of people. I assume the best of all men and women, and I prepare for the worst. That's just being realistic. Because you know it exists and you don't know who you're going to run into. But why would you run around waiting for opportunities to just, talk bad about white women for something that black women do too? More so. These blackity blacks and these black women couldn't wait to come out the woodwork and say, see, dating that white woman is what got you. So in effect, they're letting you know how they really feel about these folks. But here's the thing. It's hard enough focusing on me being the best version of myself. And that same goes for everybody, as opposed to wasting energy hating people you don't know, or at least proclaiming that you hate people you don't know. Either way, you're not going to do anything about it. These same pro-blacks, right? Pro-blacks and these lovely ladies, you complain about the white man system, but then you don't want to give up the benefits from it. What do I mean? We are all victims of this system, family. And so if you're living in a white society, you're going to interact with white people, and eventually you're going to be dating white women. Same goes for women. They're going to be black women. They're going to be dating white men. My preference for you all is to date people of African descent. I will get there in a minute. But I just want to talk about the hypocrisy in the black community. You complain about the system. That system that pushes you towards miscegenation or integration. Yet you flaunt the success in the system that you receive. But here's the thing. The benefits of living in this system also come with conditions. And those conditions have conditions. You act like a black man dating a white woman is the worst thing ever, and vice versa. Brothers really don't care. I've noticed that. But black women act like black men dating white is the worst thing ever. You act like you hate these white folks, ladies, but you work with them and they lead you around. I mean, here's what you got to understand, and I want you pro-blacks and you black American women who express so much vitriol towards white women and Latino women and Asian women, whoever. After 400 years of slavery, your current situation right now as it is in 2023, this is a choice. Most of you choose to stay. That's why I told black American people 3 or 4 years ago on YouTube when I first got here, and 10 years ago on Facebook, y'all the whitest black people in the planet. Y'all like being here. And no one can take you seriously. You complain about white women. You complain about white women dating black men, yet you want to date these white men and you want to stay here in this country. And let me tell you something else about white women. Specifically, these white women, these white feminists. And actually, you pro-black men. Both of y'all complain about the white man, but neither of y'all will leave the white man's infrastructure or build your own. We know that white woman ain't going nowhere. And I see all these pro-blacks. That's why anytime somebody tells me they pro-black or they blackity black, I'm always looking at them with a jaundiced eye. Because it's these same ones talking about pro-black. They dressing like Black Panthers. They're equating them. They got the dreadlocks. They got the black fist with the necklace on it. And they're at the Starbucks drinking lattes with Becky. My man King PB said the black manosphere just handed the whip to Cynthia G and bent over and said, "Go on, girl." Right. You want this infrastructure. You like this system. That's why you're not going nowhere. You just bitch and complain about it. And some of you all are trying to play stupid. Well, what benefits do we get from the white system? Water. The white man sends water to your house. He builds your house. He grows your food. You get your welfare checks and your food stamps, your social security card. White daddy provides all of this for y'all. Hell, even some of y'all immerse yourself in it even further. You got your Nike, your Gucci, your Louis Vuitton, your jewelry. All this comes from white folks. You don't believe me? Let the white man do something to the water. Look at all these black people in Flint, Michigan, still begging the white man to clean their water. Hell, this 5G cellular system that we're using right now on you in this whole entire conversation on YouTube. White folks did this. White folks maintain it. And of course, brothers, one of the benefits that you love flaunting, that all-powerful white pussycat, that white woman. I want you to understand that if you're dating a white woman, she's going to have a social advantage over you. I want y'all to hear me very carefully. In this system that we live in, you brothers who decide to date, look, man, again, I'm going to tell you, my preference is that you black men date women of African descent. That's my preference, whether she West Indian, Black American, African, Afro-Latina, wherever. That's my preference. And now you're starting to understand why. Because in a system like this, a system that's dominated by white folks, run by white folks, they're going to look at her and always give her the benefit of the doubt. She's always going to have a social advantage over you. What do I mean by that? Let me sum it up like this. I tell my sons, even before they even conceptualize dating, little fellas they were, I said that a white woman can tell a lie that everybody will believe. You can't, because they're going to naturally believe her. Okay, in this system that we live in, because her social status is high. But what you see is they never have smoke for somebody like Chad Wheeler. Y'all remember him? The football player that beat up his black girlfriend? Remember that guy? You ain't heard nothing about it. But you still hearing about Ray Rice. Michael Irvin didn't even do anything but have a conversation with a woman in a hotel parking lot, a hotel lobby. And he's still catching smoke. And the reason is because in this society that we live in, white people, white women, white men have a higher social status than people of color, and specifically, especially blacks. And I find it crazy that American black women, they champion this false character, Olivia Pope. And they go crazy with support of black women dating white men, or even non-black men, in this society that we live in. You got to understand what we're dealing with, okay? We're living in a society where there's a lot of white people who get mad when you're doing better than them as a black person, because they recognize that they created and maintained the system. And it's a subconscious thing with them. They know they have an advantage. So when you do better, it creates jealousy and rage within them. And they will often lash out and destroy us and destroy our things and our accomplishments. And hell, our history, they'll distort it. Look at all the towns that we had around the United States that have been destroyed in the early 20th century by jealous white folks. Tulsa, Oklahoma. They used the predicate of somebody did something to a white woman to come over there and destroy millions of dollars worth of black accomplishment. And basically black wealth just went up in smoke. Same thing for Rosewood, Georgia. The pretext was, hey, something happened to a white woman. Was it Rosewood, Florida, or Rosewood? I think it was Rosewood, Georgia. Wasn't it Rosewood, Georgia? I don't think it was Florida. I think it was Georgia. Either way, the predicate was what? Y'all did something to a white woman. So we're going to come over here and make all this black wealth go up in smoke. So it might be Rosewood, Florida. My bad, y'all. Because I knew a lot of the people end up going to Gainesville. And I know that's in Florida. This is what you're dealing with. This is the society we live in. Hell, they'll even dig up black men to destroy them when they can. Look at MLK. They're trying to say he was a cheater. 10 years ago, they was trying to say Malcolm X was part of the Rainbow Coalition. Hell, once they found out Jesus was black, they decided, well, we're going to get rid of this Christianity thing. Look at that. Look what happened once Jesus became black. Look at what happened. Ain't that something? Y'all with me? Let me say this. Stolen people on the stolen land will never have peace. And that's why I'm happy that brothers are beginning to travel and go overseas so you can see, you know, yeah, you in the eye of the storm here, and it might be rain everywhere, but it ain't as bad as it is right here. But the epitome of success is not whiteness or standing next to whiteness, family. That's what I want y'all to understand. And we've had a lot of this here in YouTube over the past couple of weeks. That young girl, Miss Pearlie, Miss Ann, these influential YouTubers, y'all just gravitated to that white girl and she let y'all down. You went over there praying to the white vagina, that porcelain princess, that mayonnaise monarch. Y'all went over there praying, and she let you, didn't they? She let you down. Y'all run behind white women. Y'all just run up behind. I don't get it. It's like y'all think reparations are going to get paid by white vagina. And you black women too. Look at what that white woman did. She came in here and divided the whole YouTube thing. All the black YouTubers in array. It's in their arms. Y'all got a civil war behind that white woman. Look what you did. It's an odd love-hate relationship that black Americans have with white people, both the men and the women. You're so easily divided. You're such a weak people. You got motherfuckers out here shucking and jiving. Like when white women come around. One white woman said, yeah, come on, my bro. Y'all just running over there, man. All the white man has to do is give a black woman a confidence, and she just as moist as the morning dew. And you brothers, you got a morbid lust for white women. And I get it. Our women are a bit caustic and manly right about now. But there are other women around the world you can choose from. And you run after these white queens. I don't really get why you brothers are so into white women. I really honestly don't get it. And I'm not knocking white women. I know there's some beautiful white women, but under the circumstances, all that you may have to lose. Again, a white woman can tell a lie that everybody's going to believe. And I just told you earlier that when white folks see you doing good, they get jealous of you. And I know you like their things. You like their Gucci and their Louis and their white women. But when they see you with that woman, there's a natural proclivity to want to, put you in your place. And so you opening yourself up for extra scrutiny. Why not just get you one of these African women? You skip past the Afro-Latinas and all the East African women and West African women to go get you a white woman who's been setting us up for centuries. And here's the crazy thing, family. Hear me out. And I'm not pro-black. I am not pro-black. I'm not one of these fake-ass pro-black. I'm not that guy. I'm just a realist. Nobody, and when I say that, nobody even wants white women like that. Especially these white women in America. They're trying to be like black women with the attitudes. Any man with sense, white men included, are looking for foreign women who are well-mannered and respectful, witty, smart. Hell, they don't even have to speak English at this point, as long as they fit and feminine. The real mistake Jonathan Majors made, the real mistake, y'all want to hear the real mistake he made, was having a Western woman as a girlfriend. Because he's too high profile and he had too much to lose. Are y'all with me? Y'all mad at me? Let me know. Let me know. Matt, let me run a commercial. I'll be right back. Y'all let me know if y'all mad at me. I need to know.
63% of youth suicides are from single mother homes. 90% of homelessness and runaway children are from single mother homes.
You can't put that on the mother.
85% of children who show behavioral disorders are from single mother homes. 80% of rapists with anger problems are from single mother homes. 71% of high school dropouts are from single mother homes. 70% of youths in operated institutions are from single mother homes. 80% of all the youths that are in prison are from single mother homes. This shows that boys and girls need both their mother and their father. And I will tell you, as a father, I know from raising my son that he needs both me and his mother.
All right, welcome back to the bro. I know y'all mad. I know y'all mad. That's why y'all ain't making no donations. I know. Hit the number one button if you hit the number one button. I don't care if you're mad. That's why they call me Uncle D. You stuck with me. I'm still your family. You stuck with me, baby. You can get mad. I'm just asking you questions. Why do y'all run up behind white folks like that, fam? It's not a good look. Have some self-pride. You understand? I'm gonna put the link in the chat room. I ain't finished with y'all yet. The link is in the chat room. Y'all can come on and start filling up the, Y'all can come through. Start filling it up. But here's the thing. Yeah, be mad. I don't care if you're mad. You need this conversation. It's not a good look. You let one white girl come in here and destroy the whole black manosphere. My man, Black Man Swimming said, keep cooking, Uncle D. Y'all leave them white women and that pork alone. Right. Yeah, but think about it. And as I said before the commercial break, the real mistake Jonathan Majors made was dating a Western woman and having her as his girlfriend. Okay? It's too much to lose. You know she gonna get jealous. Apparently she got mad because he was talking to some black woman on the phone. When she felt a little insecure, decided, I don't know what happened specifically, but apparently she tried to grab his phone and was smacking him up, and he defended himself and got up off of him, in the back of a cab. You see what I'm saying? That's basically what I can gather from that text message that was sent out. You got too much to lose. There's too much liability there. Get your passport. Ignore these Western women when you got money like that. Hell, it's gotten to the point, man, I walk in the door. I'm not looking at none of these women out here. I'm not paying attention to choosing signals. I don't give a damn. And let me tell you something else. Where all the white dudes at? I know I got a few white dudes up, and I want you white dudes to hear me. The white man's greatest weakness. You know what his greatest weakness is? Type this in the chat room. The white man's greatest weakness is his white woman. Yes, Lord. Yep. A white man's greatest weakness is his white woman. Because all this luxury and good living has just made them silly and disloyal. That's what it's done. They actually lay down with the opposition. How you gonna go lay down with the people we've been oppressing for 400-500 years? That's a foolish woman right there. And white men know it. That's why they're abandoning them. But see, he can afford to do that. What do I mean? He can afford to make a decision like that because there's a difference between black and white people. There's a different power dynamic. There's a different social dynamic. White men can date black women. They have a higher social status. They can do that. But for you, brothers, it's dangerous. That's kind of basically what I'm getting at. It's dangerous. Even for you to interact with, like on this YouTube thing. Y'all see I got Miss Ann up there? You see I got her up there? Don't leave us. Y'all making her mad at us. And she just constantly disrespecting you and your people. Hell no to reparations. Slavery was overrated. You know all that stuff. See, there's a difference, and I'm gonna say this, and I got a couple of people coming through. Y'all make sure y'all come on through. You know, the fundamental difference is black people didn't systematically oppress and enslave white folk, okay, because of the color of their skin. Right? We talk a lot of shit, but we don't have the power to oppress them. Okay? We don't run the judicial system like that. We don't run the court systems. We don't create the majority of jobs. Okay? There's a different power dynamic. White man can sleep with KK Keisha and have zero feelings. Neither hate nor love. He just a toilet to her. Or she's just a toilet to him. On the other hand, black men and black women, we strive to be with white folks. We strive to sit next to them. That's what happens when you see yourself as an inferior people. Y'all chase these women. Look at all these black women talking about they hate light-skinned women. Look at all these black men. I got more Negroes on my page telling me I'm biracial. My daddy is black as hell. And my mama was a sharecropper in Mississippi. But here's the crazy thing I want you Negroes to understand. That girl you got, that dude you running after, if you hate these light-skinned folks so much, stop making them. Because every day you checking your babies to see if they got that Mayo complexion, that good hair. And you act like that's not self-hate, because that's exactly what it is. And that's why you can have a Miss Pearly things come through and divide the whole manosphere. That's why you can have the so-called black manosphere. That's why you can have a young white girl call the police and the black women side with happy to put the black man in jail, even if he's innocent. That's what we're dealing with. Nevertheless, the link is in the chat room. I want to see what you guys want to do. In the meantime, we're going to run a commercial. Y'all make sure y'all hit the #1 button. Speaking of white folks.
Prism has come to me with something. So everybody please listen. She's going to be talking at length, but this is extremely important, I feel. So with that said, Prism, you have the floor.
Hey everybody. I don't know if everybody's aware of what's going on in YouTube. Are you aware? If you are aware of the situation with the attorney, can you please put a 1 in the chat, please?
Yeah, everybody put a 1 in the chat if you know what person we're talking about. If you don't, basically we have a lawyer who's positioning himself to be the next Kevin Samuels. But Kevin Samuels, while people would make fun of him and stuff, wasn't that dangerous. This guy, if he has his way, is going to be. This guy's a problem, and it's something that needs to be addressed.
All right, welcome to the broadcast. My good brother, Mr. Allen, in here. It took me a minute to land this rocket ship, but I think the brothers understand where I'm coming from, bro. You know, you can't be out here kissing white ass and then get and wanting to stay in this system and then get mad at the repercussions. It's like playing in a pigsty. You mad because you got hog shit on you. You see what I'm saying? If you're going to be in this system, you're going to end up dating some white women. If you're going to be in this system, you're going to end up benefiting and taking some L's from this system, especially as black men. Like, and you choose to be here at this point. You see what I mean? But go ahead, brother. What are your thoughts on the conversation?
I think you're absolutely right. But I got to say, like, salute to you and the panel, the chat. But I think as a people, we have a thing that's hardwired into us. We want a white savior. Very bad. Very bad. And we don't care at this juncture if it's a male or female. But if you call certain individuals out on that, then they in turn they get upset. But yeah, nah, there ain't no white Jesus come to save.
No, not at all. Not at all, man. And the thing is, it's so much to deal with. You can't really deal with it on the podcast, but it's shameful what this one white girl has done to the so-called black manosphere. It's just shameful. You got people who have been speaking intellect. I mean, we just reverted back to goddamn Kunta Kinte and Negro shit. I mean, it just went straight back to the plantation. We got a good master over here. How dare y'all? She gonna take us to the promised land. That's basically what we see. Mr. R. Payne, welcome to the broadcast. What would you like to add, sir?
Hey, man, thanks for letting me up, man. I've been watching your channel for a while. Listen, I'm my whole thing is I'm very disappointed in black manosphere altogether. Has nothing really to do with just Pearly Things or the sisters that have come after her. I think if we have a black manosphere, and the whole one of the purposes for it is for black men to grab their Johnsons, stand up with their back straight, move forward, and fix our situation the best way we know how. So that whole thing with Pearly and the way we reacted is just absolutely disgraceful. We got content creators at each other's throat because of her. Isn't it the same way they infiltrated the Panthers and everybody else? They threw a white woman out there or some missionaries or whatever. And we're falling right into that trap. Now, I listened to a lot
it was done so easily. That's the thing. Like it was just done so easily. Like, was it that easy?
Let me just kind of land this for a second. And here's where I have a little smoke for the black women. Okay, I listen to a lot of the black female content creators, and I like what they have to say to try to straighten up black women. However, if they say they're for the black manosphere or get men back in the right position, they're also trying to tell us how we should react. And we need to ignore them too. I don't like that. You don't tell us how we react, or else you're calling us a coon or this or that. How is that different than a 304 using sign language? You know, so I don't think we should listen to any of them.
Well, you know, when they're telling the women what to do, that's good. I don't talk to women. I just talk to you guys, and I just try to reinforce, hey, you're free men, live your lives. That's kind of,
let's just rock and roll.
That's my main thing. But you know, my thing is, man, like, you know, it's just so disappointing. Such a weak.
Yes, it is. Very disappointing.
That's my problem. And then when I see this thing jump up with Jonathan Majors, on one hand, they say, oh, you shouldn't have been dating that white woman. And then come to find out she was lying. Oh, that white woman outsmarted you. It's always the black man's fault. You understand? Then you got a situation where this girl shoot a child's father. It's the black man's fault that he got killed. I guess, you know, his chest wasn't strong enough to withstand that bullet. You see what I'm saying?
That's why we need to kind of think a little bit different about everybody who's not, you know, the people who are trying to infiltrate our spaces, whether they are black skin or white person or anybody else. Yeah. Because, you know, nobody has our best interests in mind but us. Now my problem with Jonathan Majors is, you know, listen, man, you're at the top of your game, man. Your discernment level has to be a little bit better. That's the only thing it's got to be a little bit better. Now, who knows you're going to have a chameleon or not? But it just has to, I don't care if it's a white girl or whatever it is, but it seems that how are you going to get in a pickle with a chick who is so easily going to destroy your life?
That white vagina. That's that power, that porcelain pea stone. That mayonnaise muff kitten. That's what got him. Anyway.
Let me ask you a question, though, brother.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
You don't think that a sister could do that to him too?
Hell yeah. That's what I spent half the conversation talking about this. So the thing is, you got black women saying, see, that's from dating a white woman. I'm gonna say, no, y'all do it more than anybody else.
No doubt.
It's a Western woman thing. It just so happens to be in this particular country, which is dominated by white folk and white, you know, that white women have a higher social status. So you stand nearly no chance of getting off. You might have a chance if a KK Keisha says something about you. But then when that white woman comes up and cries foul, your whole town gonna get burnt down.
Shit,
Anyway.
the cops don't even want her to retract. It seems like the cops don't even want her. They're trying to say, you can't retract this. You put them out there. We got this, nigga.
That's what they saying, man. And so the thing is, I'm just telling y'all, brothers, be careful. Recognize where you are. You're behind enemy lines. Don't get to the top of your game and get played like that. And but again, let me go to Alvin, because Alvin is Alvin as an observer. You're observing this situation. You got the blackity black YouTubers attacking the middle of the road YouTubers for having bringing that white woman in our myths. You see what I'm saying? And then the middle of the road YouTubers who want to be friends with everybody. Hey, she's okay. People are people. You know them. People are people, and you gotta love each other. They like, you're just being unreasonable. You're a race baiter, and I'm like, all y'all look bad. This should be a non sequitur. At some point, somebody should have just flipped the switch and say, let's move on. But see, now we got this Jonathan Major situation, and it's all coming from the same source. You Negroes love white people. As much as you say you don't like them and you don't like the oppression that you have to deal with, you Negroes love white people. Y'all love them to death. I want all the white people in the chat room to know that these Negroes here in America love you dearly. They do not want to depart from you. They want to be with you forever. They want to live next to you. Okay. They want you to fly their planes and build their cars, make their clothes. Okay. They want you to give them contracts so you can be the favorite Negro. You see, they want that. I've been telling these Negroes to get on the plane, get your YouTube, go get on the plane and go get a passport. Half the Negroes are saying, oh, no, don't leave. And the other half, it's terrible. And all you're doing is just basically going over there to see some black people, but they don't want to leave. And they don't want you putting pressure on them to leave. Alvin, why do these black people, why do they have their lips attached to the butt cheeks of these white folks? Like, why are they super glued on, or is this a gorilla glue thing? Tell me. Go ahead, Alvin.
Salute to you, Uncle D,
Yes,
panel
sir.
in the chat. It is that extra super duper strength gorilla glue.
Damn.
And what I'm realizing, man, what we have is a lack of comprehension. We have a lack of understanding. We came through we've had a couple of breakthroughs, and we're realizing, or I'm coming to the realization that over in the motherland, over in the other continent, they bend the knee to white folks too.
All you Negroes love white people. Y'all love white people.
And so do the ones. So do the ones in Britain, and so on and so forth. What I'm realizing, Uncle D, is that our brand of black people, the ones on this panel, the ones we're speaking with, are the most disruptive, are the ones that don't.
No, y'all love white people too. Don't let yourself off.
I am.
You got the white man's hat on right now, and the white man's camouflage.
I am.
I'm using the white man's microphone.
I'm recovering.
Oh, y'all love the white man. Don't get it.
I just got the super glue off myself. But what I'm saying is that I think it took me getting my ass whooped a couple of times. I can't lie to you.
The white man whooped your ass.
Man, I done had the white girl call the cops. I done had the white man screw me out of a job. I mean, we've done it, because we act in good faith as black men. We do. Somebody,
Alvin, they say you shaved your mustache for Miss Pearly. They give you a hard time, bro.
No, I don't mess with Miss Pearly. I've been on the internet thing. I've stayed over on this side of the internet with us because I've just kind of wanted to keep it that way personally. But I understand that. Again, I've had a couple of higher level conversations with a bunch of guys that are like, why don't you guys just we got to build up the group, and you got to network and so on. And I'm like, look, man, here's what's going to happen. They're going to build up their network. There's more of them, and then they're going to leave you behind. That's what's going to happen, at the end of the day. But
that's cool. And my man P Money is in here, and Gerald. The white, and I don't want you white ladies to get off the hook either. I mean, you black lady, I want y'all to hear me. Y'all, when them babies are born, y'all looking at the tips of them ears to see if them babies gonna come out dark skinned or light. You touching that baby here, you looking at them eyes, and one of them blue eyes are gonna turn brown like the rest of us Negro. We know y'all. Y'all got a whole movement online called Swirl. Y'all trying to swirl it up. You trying to get rid of as much of your blackness as you can. You Negroes love white people, man. Y'all love them. Y'all love them. Y'all want to go to their parties. Y'all talk about mayonnaise all the time. You putting mayonnaise on your pork chops and your collard greens. Y'all love them. You love them. You are. This is who you are. This is who you are. And that white woman came up in here. That white woman came up here. All she had to do is save me. And all you Negroes came to her rescue. Y'all did. Yeah, you did. I saw you. I saw you. I saw what you did. Even the Negroes that are attacking her, they using the white man system to attack her, ain't they? You see what I'm saying? You need this white man. You can't do nothing. You a handcuff. But anyway, my man P Money, my brother from another mother. Talk to me, brother. Why is it? Talk to me. You got the white man's earphones on right now. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I came in, Dennis, specifically to say.
You got your white woman too? Because go ahead. We'll talk about that later. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
I can understand the obsession Americans have with their women. The obsession. And what I need to say here is that I think it was a comedian, a white woman comedian on Joe Rogan who was saying this. White women wanted power. Their obsession, they're seeing they can take over this country. And they are not afraid to throw their men under the bus. They are not afraid to destroy their men to achieve that. They wanted that power. And they know that men are the weakest link holding the position in the global power economy. That's the most convenient way they can achieve that. And
let me tell you, what you're analyzing is female nature, because our women think we're the weakest link too, and they'll throw us under the bus too. And what's going to happen, the more Africa gets wet, I know you're Nigerian, that's where your family's from. The more Nigeria gets, what's the word I'm looking for? The more technology, the more available technology becomes, the more you're going to see those Nigerian women throwing y'all under the bus too. It's about, feminism is a convenience of first world living. And the less women need you, the more they'll show you they don't need you. That's all we're dealing with over here. These broads got it easy. They can go to the grocery store. They can call 911. They got their little baby Benz. They can ride to work. They get their $78,000 a year. They get their free drinks. They got it going on. So of course they can say they don't need men. Of course they can treat it like shit. I'm gonna talk to the white dudes again. I want the white, and I know they've been dipping in our black business, so I'm gonna dip in some of their white business. Normally I don't dip over in the white folk business, but the white man knows that his woman ain't shit. He been knowing that since she came up with no fault divorce. He been knowing that since she came up with the whole child support system. She's been taking his children from him since the 90s. Since our black women have been taking theirs from us. These white men are deleting themselves left and right. They know she's the weakest link. I'm talking about white dudes. I've been listening to this internet thing, and I've been hearing the MGTOWs and all this stuff for the past 10 years now. And I hear what they're saying. They going through the same shit. It's female nature.
And it's not getting any better.
We're dealing with female nature. It's just our women are a little bit more aggressive. But now you got white women doing the same shit that black women have been doing, calling the police, putting people in jail. Look at these. Look, do some examination. They don't broadcast their stuff like they do ours, but it's happening. White men are pissed. They recognize their women ain't shit. You see what I'm saying? Western women are spoiled. The white woman is the most spoiled human being that has ever existed on the planet. Facts. And the black women are right behind her. You see what I'm saying?
Facts.
So so here, the thing is, when I see black women, when I see black women talking shit about what this white woman did, I see hypocrisy. Because that's, as we say, the pot calling the kettle black. You bitches do the same goddamn thing. Calling the police on people, getting them in trouble. It's dudes right here to tell you that. You see what I'm saying? You do it all. White women being violent towards their men. They do the same shit because they can get away with it. So, you'll see it'll be there in about 30 years. Let that oil money kick in. When they start getting all the flying car, them bitches gonna give y'all the blues. And they strong too. I done seen them Nigerian women. They got them big calves. They solid. They got that low center of gravity and shit. They gonna be like, pow, hitting motherfuckers in the jaw. And y'all some slender brothers. Them bitches is built, bam. It's gonna happen. Anyway, my man Gerald, aka
Hey, can I say to the brothers that are going overseas getting their passports, when you do, try going to countries where the women don't speak English.
That's a good start.
English is not the primary language.
Yeah, that'll slow the feminism down, but it ain't gonna stop it. They got Google Translate. But let me get to my man Gerald real quick. Gerald, unmute yourself, man. I you was over there, boy. I seen you, bro. I seen you.
Well, hey,
say it, bro, and then we getting where we trying to get on this page.
Hey, well, listen, nephew.
Go ahead, brother Gerald. What would you like to add? This is a grown-ass man conversation we have.
Right. Well, check this out. Yeah. If they don't know themselves, they will never find out who they are, because you said once Jesus went black, which basically the Jesus symbol you got is a man named Caesar Borgia, who was homo, not to mention killed his wife, blah, blah, blah.
But what I do know is the minute Jesus became a black man, Christianity began to fall. That's what I know.
It was all a game.
Once Jesus turned black, they was like, nah, we don't want that. And that goes to the conversation where I was talking about how how white folks in this society, they dig our heroes up and do it. And so what you think is gonna happen when you dating that white woman and you a black dude?
Dude, they the same
on your ass.
But they the same though, because basically it's all about power. Because there was a pale-faced woman who said that they never had femininity. They said they needed makeup. They said that the sisters always had the feminine, beautiful self.
Nobody's complaining about how black women look naturally.
But dude, it's
complaining about the beauty of black women in their natural form.
But remember, beauty comes from that. But they're so beautiful that their arrogance. You can look at a beautiful woman, and as soon as she opened up her mouth, within 2 seconds, she has just messed up the fantasy. That's something that black women do. They are great looking. Let them open up their mouth, and you hear all that shit coming out of them. Man, your shit be like Pac-Man. Boop, it just goes down because their energy is bad, man.
The thing is, what I'm saying is, black men have never complained about black women's beauty in their natural form. You see what I mean? But see, our ladies, they love whiteness so much. They want light-skinned babies. They want to look white. That's why they get the weave. That's why they get the skin bleaching. It's a sickness. But see, here's the thing. We won't leave this society alone. Malcolm X, Elijah Muhammad, Marcus Garvey told us you got to separate. And now we're seeing the effects of not listening to what our leaders said.
That's true.
I mean, you're going to keep having black men who interact with white women go to jail. You're going to keep having black women who think black men are inferior because they're not the white man and they can just do whatever they want to them. You're going to keep having that because this is what happened when you live in a society where your social status is what it is. But anyway, praise God. We're going to go ahead and open up the chat. These niggas mad tonight. They ain't making names, boy. I ain't getting no contributions. How dare you talk about the white woman? They mad as a motherfucker. Fuck all y'all this shit. We gonna say it anyway. God damn it. We gonna talk about it. You got a fascination. Okay. You got a porcelain dependency. Okay. You got a fair fixation. Okay. You got a mayonnaise mysticism going on up here. It needs to be dealt with. You Negroes are sick. All these smart ass Negroes on the internet been breaking down all this shit. Yeah, man, this and monogram report and this, that, and the other. And you can get a trigonometry question answered on this shit, but I can't explain why one bad-built, big-shouldered white woman can come up in here and break up the whole shit that we didn't have going. You see what I'm saying? The white woman came in here with that white Thor sludge hammer and said, wow. And all of y'all scattered to y'all corners. We separated the house Negroes from the field Negroes.
Is she from Britain?
Dudes is getting transplanted. God damn it.
She is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Simple Shit TV. Shout out to you, bro. What'd you say? What did I miss in Broken Blade? What'd you say, bro? Y'all, I missed some, but anyway.
No, it was me. I was asking, was she from Britain? Because I thought she was from Britain.
No, man, she from the Midwest.
She's from here.
Somewhere. She's
Get
homegrown.
out. Okay.
Somewhere
Oh,
in the
God.
That's that homegrown whiteness. She ain't from reparations. Hold on. She ain't from reparations. She said you Negroes is playing when it comes to slavery. That wasn't all that. She had the white boy on there with the Mexican last name that's from Italy that said, hell with all you Negroes. And y'all still up in white mom. Y'all all up in the crack. Jock Carter, thank you, bro. So yeah, be mad. I don't care if they mad. They don't like. See, here's the problem, and I'm gonna just open the panel up. Here's the problem. Y'all don't like me talking about it. They want to be. This is a post-racial society, and you race her. I'm just talking about you Negroes and how you are. That's all I do. I just hold the mirror up and say, look, this is your ass. This is what the fuck you doing.
Yeah, you dangerous, bro. You dangerous. You a dangerous.
We should have sold. We should have hold the mayo.
Man, they love that vanilla.
Hey, brother's white. She devil would tempt you, cleanse you. So that's what's going on. You know, we need to cleanse this whole area right quick. Let me go ahead and praise God. Well, praise God. We gotta go ahead and bring. Let me see if we can find Black Jesus to bring him up here. Praise God. Hold on a minute. We'll be
under the blood. Jesus cover me under the blood. Under the blood, me say me under the blood. Jesus, you been cover me under the blood. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood of Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me, I go break up. Put the blood on me face just like a makeup. In the morning when me wake up, and the blood of Jesus me take up. And when me feel like me heart break up, put the blood on me face just like a makeup. Under the blood, under the blood, under the blood. Jesus cover me, under the blood. Jesus you be cover me, under the blood me say me.
GM said, Pearl look like Smeagol from the Lord of the Rings. Don't talk about that white girl. Y'all love that white woman. Y'all take it. Y'all a hit. 99% of y'all smash and have a little light-skinned baby with it. Now stop lying to me. I know you Negro. I know y'all. Little hen dog in you, little coat, little motherfucker, little Pepsi or something. Y'all hit that. They'd be like, yeah, you know, yeah, I got a little white girl, you know. I know you Negroes. Don't lie to me. I know what you do. That's another goddamn thing. Somebody's like, I'm dry snitching. I tell all you niggas be out there cheating, be trying to get the lipstick off your motherfucking dick and jump in the shower before your wife catch your ass. You know what I'm saying? Because niggas is wearing, baby, order me some black drawers. I don't want them white drawers no more. Motherfucking lipstick be on there. The bitch know what you been doing at the motherfucking strip club, fucking fat bitches around the corner. I know what you do. You can't lie to me. See what I'm saying? I'm a nigga too. Did y'all know that? That's one of y'all. But anyway, my man Robert Scott, B Women said the Black Jesus dad was the deadbeat. Justin Brooks, thank you so much. Original Man 50. Next time we make a black sandwich, hold the mayo. Yeah, and so here's the thing, brothers. Here's where we at. And I wanted to get a short monologue in because I wanted to lay it out. But we need a motherfucking code because we are all off code with this shit. And I'm glad I got some of my veterans in here, Mr. Allen and Mr. Holden, and I got some new blood up in here. And also Mr. Blackrock, my brother from overseas. You're going to have to represent all 54 countries in Africa right now. We need a motherfucking code. We are off code. If all it takes is for one white woman to come in this motherfucker with that white lightning and that to break up all our shit, I'm not building a motherfucking thing with y'all. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It takes one white woman. And this ain't even like, you know, a fine white woman. This is a really average. She even say she's pretty average. You see what I'm saying? So what is the code? Where did we violate the code here? My man, Elevated Engineers, I can't lie, I would still knock it down. I just wouldn't tell him. I know, because you Negroes got low standards too.
So you're gonna go around the horn?
But come on now, for real though. For real.
Can I throw? Let me throw out some. Let me throw out real quick.
What does the code say?
I went on Bernard. I think Bernard Riley's show.
I don't know who that is, but
he's a brother. He's a brother on there. And I told him, I said, listen, I said exactly what you just said. When we talk about the manosphere, I said, well, why don't we define what kind of?
I'm not part of the black manosphere.
No. Okay, forget about manosphere.
Hold on, brother. They put me out of the manosphere back in January, so I gracefully resigned. So I don't want to speak ill of the brothers who are still there. God bless them. I wish them well. Okay. Nevertheless, somebody said white pussy got me, Uncle D, in the summer of 05. Yeah, it got all you Negroes. But anyway, let's proceed. What happened?
Let me just say, forget about manosphere. Forget about that term. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm saying, can we define what we're trying to accomplish as black men? It doesn't have to be a complete definition. It don't have to be long. I mean, what if we had planks?
What's the objective? Are you saying what is the objective? Are we trying to achieve anything?
No, not everybody's trying to achieve the same thing. That's the thing.
That's what I'm saying.
Because for like Uncle D, I don't think money. You're not chasing dollars. I mean, they're nice to have, but you're not here chasing money.
No.
I'm not here chasing money. It's nice to have, but I'm not here chasing money. There's a lot of people that are out here chasing clicks, and they'd rather be, buddied up with the million person mayonnaise than they would everybody else. On this side of the internet is a slow grow. There's not that many of us. Right? It's a small corner of the internet. Most of her, I don't know. I have a hard time believing that she's got 1 million plus black men following her. I have a hard time believing that.
It's not.
Hey, Uncle D, if I may say something. Hey, here's where the violation is coming in. Never trust men who are not getting none. Too much of these brothers are thirsty.
Say it again, bro. Say it again. Come back. Go ahead. Come closer.
Never trust men that are not getting none.
Oh, yeah.
Too much of these brothers are thirsty, and the number that are not getting none keeps increasing. It keeps getting larger and larger. So what is the code? My prescription is, brothers, get your passport, go overseas, sow your royal oats, find you a woman that will settle your brain below. So you are not thinking with the brain upstairs.
Okay.
A lot of these men will sell you out
for some pussy.
For 15 minutes of jelly.
Yeah.
It doesn't even matter what it looks like. It is sad. It is sad. I've been in the United States since 2007, and I swear to God, I cannot tell you how many times brothers, American black men, has lost their job, a high-profile position, over trying to get some jelly.
Yeah.
Something that is not even desirable.
Yeah. Brother. So let me
chasing tails.
Let me summarize what R. Payne said and what Alvin said. R. Payne said, "What's our objective?" Alvin pointed out that everybody here on YouTube, the guys, we have different objectives. I'm not here chasing the money. I appreciate y'all giving the donations. It lets me know I'm headed the right path. And of course, I want to get paid for my motherfucking time. I ain't a fucking slave. But nevertheless, I'm not doing it. I'm okay with slow growth. It's other people who have this as their primary source of income. You see what I mean? My man Patrick said, you got to watch out for dudes who want female validation because they don't get much of it. So anytime a woman validates them, then they gravitate towards that. They need that. They need that female validation, especially when you got somebody, a white woman, because we know the traditional relationship that black folks have had with white people in this country. So they gravitate towards whiteness like that. They want that social status. So if they can't be white, they want to stand next to white. You understand? So those are 3 good points. I mean, we're gonna narrow this down. Hopefully, we got about 30 or 40 minutes. My man, Original 50 said, Lady Thor Pearly strucketh the black hemisphere with her struck at the black manosphere with her mighty hammer, Shazam. She showed this. She came down and hit that thing and just rattled every goddamn thing. Look at y'all. Y'all been shook for weeks. Okay.
Excuse me, if I may add.
What? We off code. What's the code say? Like, clearly we can't let this. What is the rule that we need to follow so this never happens again? All of the white women have. I say don't let them in the door. You see what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying you cannot speak on black issues because what's going to happen is you start speaking on black issues, black people are going to gravitate towards you. Then you're going to say some shit to let them down. And then the other people are going to say, well, give her an exception because she's white. And then the other group of people are going to say, no, fuck that. she betrayed us. So now you got people on both sides fighting against each other. So, but all this could have been avoided if you had said, hey, you out of bounds. Just like white men don't like me telling them how treacherous they women are, that hurt their feelings. You see what I mean? Earlier when I said I could sit up here and talk about the domestic violence rate in the Latino community and the amount of children that are molested in the Hispanic community. Look at this. I could sit up here and do that. I could have a panel of Latino women talk about how many times Spanish Poppy done hit them up upside the head. I don't do that. I may casually mention, but I don't dwell on that shit. That's disrespectful. That's not my people. You understand?
Right.
Same thing with white folks. I can sit up here and talk about how many pedophiles they got in they shit and how many drunks and all that shit. I can sit up here and talk about that. I don't. I can sit up here and have a whole panel of meth heads from Philadelphia who are white and explain to me why they doing what they've been doing and how their childhood was and why they don't. I could do that. I don't. That's not my business. You understand? We got, I mean, it's damn near like prison politics over. You know, and the dudes who've been to jail, you stay in your own racist business. You don't get off in other people's business, at least in California. I don't know about everywhere else.
Yes,
but you mind your business because shit is bad. Otherwise, you opening yourself up for a conflict. And if we need to come together and do something, we can. But see, it doesn't help when I got brothers running after these white women like this, and these black women running after black white men like this. You have a morbid fascination with white folks. Y'all do. Well, y'all have a more black people. It's a sickness. We more attracted to white folk than white folk are attracted to themselves. They've been killing each other for thousands of years. Europe, France, they've been at war, the goddamn Vikings and shit. They don't even like each other like that. But we just love them. You see what I'm saying? Like, and it's weird. It's weird, especially got all these intelligent people. It's weird as shit to still be dealing with this, man. We still fighting over this, man. Just think about it. You know, but anyway, Mr. Allen, you had something to say, but let me read what Counselor Mr. G. Live said. We'll call it in, but I'm busy now, but just putting something on the board to prove not everyone mad that you're going in on the mayonnaise made. And I'm not even going in on the white girl like that. I'm mad at us. I can't change that white woman. She doing what's in the best interest of her people and herself. I'm not mad at her. I'm mad at us. I can't control her, but I can talk to y'all and ask y'all at least why. You see what I'm saying? RDD20, shout out to you, man. Thank you so much. And I'm not even one of these staunch pro-blacks who say don't date. I'm not even one of them Negroes. I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I just want to understand why. But more importantly, at this point, what do we need to do so that we don't have this much division happen amongst us anymore? If this shit happens virtually, it can happen in the real world, and it's all the time. Mr. Allen, go ahead, brother. Please give us some explanations.
We all have had that one homeboy that was tripping off of a box, and you kind of looked at him funny a little bit, like, you want that box enough to start talking reckless. Bet. When it comes to white box, most Negroes get to tripping real hard because now it's a surprise. It's the thing. I'm trying to obtain this. Like it come with a title. That chick is human, bro. She's human. And y'all, I'm out here in the middle of white America. They smoking drugs, bro. Like, they ain't that special. They're terrible. For real, they're terrible.
They're terrible like everybody else. We all human beings. But it's just fascinating. Look, man, I got white folks I'm cool with. The first person that taught me how to practice law was not my father. I learned to practice law from a little short white dude over in New Orleans. Made me great. It's crazy. Let me tell you, I'm going to tell you this story, man. And what I'm saying is I'm not hating, and that's why I pointed that out there. I don't hate white folks. I don't hate anybody. I hate shit that evil people do. And what system of white supremacy, racism is evil as fuck. And if you're a perpetuator of that, you're on the wrong side as far as what my God is talking about. But the thing is, man, you know, little short white dude taught me to practice law. I done got so good. My fiance, who deals with lawyers now, because, you know, she's like, you know, we always get these Hispanic clients and they call over, and then the little lawyers don't know what the fuck they're doing. Little Hispanic lawyers don't know what they're doing. And I say the reason is because they were locked out. This is personal injury is a white man's game. You see what I'm saying? It's the most lucrative form. And when I was there, that firm that I worked with, they sent me the worst of the worst cases. So I got all the shitty cases. And I learned to make money. I earned the second highest amount of money in the firm when I was working for them with the shittiest cases. You see what I mean? I remember one quarter I settled 93 cases. Now I might settle, 15 in a 3-month time period. I settled 93 of them shitty cases, which means, and I did that for 3 years straight. I would be there from 7 in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning. You see what I'm saying? Whole point, man. And brother, come back if you can. I know you're trying to get in on this, but I wanted to talk to Mr. Allen. But my whole point is, you can learn from people. You can hate. You can learn from people. You don't have to hate them, but you don't have to be fixated with them. You see what I'm saying? What's up with the fixation? I think that's my problem, Mr. Holden. And then Mr. Allen, you can add in. And the floor is open, gentlemen. Why are we fixated? Why is it? Go ahead.
If you'll allow me. Mr. Payne.
Yeah.
Black men don't read. How's that make you feel?
It's disappointing.
Gerald, black men don't read. How's that make you feel?
Bad. That's how you hide something from a naga. They don't find out.
Black men don't read. How's that make you feel?
Indifferent.
Mr. Allen, black men don't read. How's that make you feel?
Nothing. Because it's true.
We've got okay, right there, right there, right? Is it though? Who knows? But we've got a lot of black men in the space that degrade ourselves.
True.
So if we keep getting these messages about ourselves that are trash messages, how can we not think that the white men are better? See, I'm picking up on something. I've been realizing that a lot of these blackity blacks and a lot of these people, they perpetuate a lot of these messages that are bullshit. They're messages that are pumped into the media constantly that we've been hearing since we were kids. Black men don't read. Black men cheat. Black men this. Black men that. Black men this. It's not that we've been taught that the white man's ice is colder. So it's no secret. It's not surprising that half these motherfuckers really believe it because that's all they've been told. I read. All the people I know read, but we've heard that before. We've got leaders in the manosphere that pump that bullshit on a regular. I've heard them say it out of their own mouths that black men don't read. So how are we supposed to have any pride or dignity in ourselves when our own leaders are the ones bullshitting us? I'm just saying.
Let me ask a question. Let me ask you a question, Alvin. Lions can't read either. But you ain't got to tell a motherfucking lion that the hyena is his enemy. You shouldn't be over there running up behind the goddamn hyena.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying.
I mean, it is pretty obvious to me that if you fucking with a white girl and she call the motherfucking police on you, your black ass is going to jail. You see what I'm saying? That's pretty obvious to me. It's pretty obvious if the white girl say, I'm against reparations. What else you say? Slavery was some bullshit. Y'all just overdoing it. That's probably somebody who ain't fucking with you like that. You see what I'm saying?
These lions don't have no teeth.
How many more signs do you need to realize this is not somebody you need to stand behind with your black self? And why didn't you ask the right questions before you put the stamp of approval and let her come in and speak to your people? If you had a church, Alvin.
Yes, sir.
Okay, you had a church and there was a guest minister, and you just say, oh, yeah, come on in, motherfucker. And then he get up on the goddamn podium and start talking about Satan is good. That's your motherfucking fault because you let that person in your pulpit to address your flock. And so the people who are sitting there on Sunday morning are like, damn, you let this person come address us. It's one thing if we hear this person out on the street, but if you bring her into our sanctuary and we listen to this person because you put the stamp of approval on it, that's your fault because you put the stamp of approval on it.
What I'm saying is our pastors are the ones spreading the bullshit message is what I'm saying.
Yeah, but okay, but wait a minute. But nobody brought her into the space. She can't.
That was my question.
There's no, wait a minute, let me finish. There's no gate on the space.
Mm-hmm.
And actually her demographic is not mostly black. But let me just put it to this. I'm 60.
Well, you made a point. I want to ask you a question on that. So you said nobody brought her into this space.
How did she get in?
But hold on. Did our manosphere leaders put a stamp? Did black people put a stamp of approval on her?
Okay.
By appearing in her broadcast?
Yep.
Let me answer the question.
No question. In your opinion, is it
I'm
yes
not going to be a long answer. I'm just saying. She came into the space.
I think the answer is once people that you love and respect put the stamp of approval on somebody, you feel safe talking. You feel safe listening to that person. You open your ears up to that person.
If I could just finish just this thought for a second.
I know, but you made a point, and I wanted to address that. If you got another point,
I'm not going to go off that point. I still say she came into the space. She paid some money for some folks to help her out. She didn't do it for free, and maybe that endorsed her. I'll give you that. But the point is, we all been on this earth for a little while. I know I have been. I have not talked to a white person who said anything about slavery that elevated to the satisfaction that I thought it was. They all are like that. It's not like she said anything that any white person you talk to and you talk about slavery with them, you leave that conversation knowing that they don't look at slavery the way you did. Every white person I know, every single white person I know.
So the first thing
I'm not giving her a pass. I'm just saying, how can we be so surprised?
I get it, brother. The first thing you said was that she took some interviews with some people. Kevin Samuels charges people to have consultations with them.
Right, that's what she did.
Let me finish, brother. That does not mean he puts his stamp of approval on them. The lead attorney does the same thing. That doesn't mean he puts his stamp. You want to pay me $500, $1,000 to talk to you for 30 minutes? I will. You want to go out and tell people you talk to me, that's cool. That does not mean I agree with everything you said. I've talked to hundreds of people in the past year. That doesn't mean I agree with everything they say. They pay me. You gotta let me finish, brother. You gotta let me finish, please. Brother, please let me finish, brother, please. That doesn't mean that they put their stamp of approval on. What I'm talking about is the people that appeared on her podcast, that brought her in, that said, hey, this is person, we like this person, and it made her seem like a safe choice for us to listen to. And then she came and did what we expect white people in this society to do, advocate for themselves and their positions and their opinions. So my question is, should we have done a better job at vetting her as leaders? And is there, what do our leaders learn from this? You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not I'm not in conflict with you. I'm just trying to
But I want to ask you a question. Can I ask you a question? Who brought her in? I want to know who brought her in.
Fresh and fit.
That's what I'm saying. Do we have a name?
Look, let me say it like this. The YouTube is open.
That's what I said.
Okay, you gotta let me finish, brother. YouTube is open to anyone. You got racists on YouTube right now saying wild shit.
Right.
But they're not getting a stamp of approval from black YouTubers because we like they racist. Why it makes no sense to do that. But if you bring somebody in and then your people, your fans who love you and appreciate, I know that there are people who trust me and they trust my opinions. And if I say, hey, this is a good product to buy, go ahead and buy it. They'll take my word for it. And if they buy a product and it does something bad to them, they're gonna be looking at me like, damn, dog, you know, we holding you responsible. It's no difference than in a gang or a mafia. You bring a snitch in, you responsible for the snitch.
I agree with that.
You understand what I'm saying? So if you bring this white woman in and you didn't properly vet her, you responsible for that. That's real. It's not that it's a free world, but you brought her in. In other words, you vouch for this person. That's basically I've said that a couple of times. It's the
you said Kevin Samuels and those guys paid. They didn't vouch for.
That's not what I said. I said that just because they had a conversation with her, brother.
That's what he said.
Y'all, what did you?
I hear you, but you're still not saying who vouched for her. I don't know who vouched for her.
Okay, brother, listen. I'm not saying names. I'm not saying any names.
All right.
But we all know.
Yes, we do.
Hey, I'm gonna go on this. Once you start appearing on people's podcasts and you start, basically vouching for them, then that's you're putting a stamp of approval on them. It's common sense. People see that. You understand?
Yes,
I get that. And I'm not blaming them. I'm just saying, as leaders moving forward, what can we learn from that? You see, because you're always gonna have Trojan horses like this. And in the battle of the Trojan horse, there were people that said, burn that shit at the gate. And there was people who said, oh no, this is a peace offering. Bring it in. And we've seen this play out before for thousands of years. You let this person in, you out of your goodwill, and then they fuck your shit up. What can we learn from this? That's the whole point, because it's what's done is done. But the question is, what can we learn from this moving forward? But let me do this. Counselor Mr. G. Live said, Alvin is correct. I've been saying that blacks stereotype each other more than anyone, being the black men who are chasing white women. Only 8% of black men are white women. Yeah, but even that 8%, my whole point is that you're looking at a different social status, and you basically endangering yourself. My man Dennis, check out Sarah Garvey video on Pearl Pay, her staff pittance, and how she tried to educate her on slavery and colonization. Why y'all mad at that? I'm not fixated with that white people. You mad at white people for white people.
Uncle D,
hold on a minute. Hold on.
Okay.
You're mad at white people for doing what white people been doing. That's your dumb black ass.
They need some validation.
That's my whole point. Why are you mad at white people for doing what's in their best interest?
You go.
You see what I mean? That's your. I'm not talking about. I can't change that young lady. She's supposed to fucking whoop y'all. You see a fool bump his head. You motherfuckers out here. What did she just say on the internet the other day? I like my African Negroes because they work harder. They gonna make me richer than them American Negroes.
She did.
Italian dude say you fucking right. We like these niggers over here better than them niggers over there. And y'all thinking about that? No, we the best slaves ever. We the best slaves. You niggas.
Okay.
That's basically. I'm looking. See, I'll be sitting back because I sit back. I'm like, these niggas don't even realize. Y'all niggas fighting over who the best slave is for this world.
Oh, the slave master.
That's beautiful. White woman had y'all fighting over who's the best Negro slave.
Uncle D, she was on a panel. I'll be quick. She was on a panel. I clicked in. I'm not going to call any names. She was on a panel she was on a black career. I'll say this. She was on a black creators channel recently, and there's a bunch of dudes yelling at each other with her sitting on the screen, and there was like Mandingo fighting for her. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? I can only watch for like 2 minutes. I had to turn that shit off. I was like, what are we talking about?
Sally, Jesse, Raphael.
So we're talking about code. Public disagreements with other black men, especially with white people on the platform, is probably off code. I'll start there.
Yeah, I agree with that. I said that the other day. Jock Carter said, R-Pain saving Pearly for the past few days. I don't know who that is. Chancellor Palpatine infiltrated the Jedi Order and destroyed it from the inside. Life and art are similar. Yeah, you got a Trojan horse, man. Y'all do a better job at vetting. It's very rarely you see me go anywhere. I go to that little girl Shay Chardre's channel. She sing nice. You see what I mean? You don't see me running up on people's shit. It's very rarely that I have other folks. So I'll bring a young person in, like a person who got a new channel. But you don't see me co-signing with motherfuckers because I don't want my reputation. I take care of my reputation. I realize how important your reputation is. You understand what I'm saying? I realize that. I take that I'm not in this to make money. I'm in this to make sure. Well, let me say it like this. I got almost 60,000 black men following me. My page has a different nature than everybody else's page because I purposely go out of my way to get rid of all the women and other folk. I got mostly black men. That's what makes it so poignant. That's why even though I only got 60,000, when I say shit, everybody hear it. Notice that. Every shit get reverberated throughout the internet. And that's being, you got a titanium tip on the end of your spear as opposed to some brass. That's the difference between my page and everybody else's. And I'm cool with slow growth. You see what I mean? Because when I get 100,000, it's going to be 100,000 black men. You see what I mean? That's different.
That's
you see what I'm saying? Hard and steel over time. But anyway, man, I want you brothers, we got to get some answers up in here. When are y'all going to leave these white women alone? You know what we need to do. Let's go ahead. Praise God, Lord. We're going to pray. We come to you today and ask you to help us get rid of this demonic spirit of white women that is taking over black men to that Lord. We pray that you bring the white Jesus with the dreadlocks now and cast these white demons away from us, Lord. The force of the pussy that is taking over the black man's spirit. And we ask that you rid us, Father. Wow. I need everybody in the church to say amen, Lord. We appreciate everyone here. Sunshine.
Too much,
Let all
man.
bow here, Lord. Let the spirit of the white vagina be ridded from our lives, Lord. We ask you to, Lord, we come down and let the mayonnaise muff kitten be removed from us, Lord. We need to not have to deal with that, Jesus. That porcelain pussycat is the devil incarnate, Jesus. We ask you to cordon us off, Lord. We don't need that. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Let all the people put your hands in the air, Lord.
Amen.
Man,
Dude, you too much, man. You are too much.
Praise Moses. We free now. We liberated. We liberated. We liberated. We liberated. We're gonna be all right. We're gonna be all. Go ahead,
Uncle
brothers.
D.
Praise God.
Uncle D.
What
You think?
Well, let's go, Mr. Allen. Go ahead, Mr. Allen. What you got to say?
Most of us have not had the experience of laying down with a white woman. So
white woman, woo, they want it though. They want it.
And for that fantasy, they're willing to Mandingo fight over some imaginary virtual box that they ain't never gonna get. She can give it to somebody, but it ain't true.
Yeah,
Get over
Lord.
Get over
They be just gone down to the Walmart and get you one of them big white girls with some sandals on.
There's plenty out there.
Get it out your system, praise the Lord. Get it on out your system, brother. Lord Jesus. I don't know. Well, but anyway, like I said, and P Money, you had something to say. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna ask you a question. Do you think these brothers are gonna relapse?
Oh yeah, they're gonna relapse. They need that white girl. Ooh, they love that white woman. P Money.
Strawberry vanilla.
They love that white woman. They can't get rid of that white woman, man. That's part of their being. That's part of who they is. That's part of who they are. They love white women. White women, butter biscuits, BMWs, Gucci. That's what they.
What you call them? Butter biscuits? Is that what you
butter biscuits? Yeah, some butter biscuits.
I'm a white woman and a butter biscuit and a 40-ounce nigga. It's a win.
Fish nuggets.
If she can roll weed and fry chicken, shit.
And she's trying to learn, right? Hey, butter biscuit, that's crystal cure, ain't it? Butter biscuit.
But what I'm saying, family, is this seriously though, man. We really, really, really got to think about and it's all fun and it's all funny, but this is a sickness, man. Yeah. This is really a sickness, and it's just, and like I always get motherfuckers making light-skinned jokes about me. Look, I'm a red nigga. Okay, let me explain. I'm not light-skinned like that. My daddy was black. My mama was light-skinned from Mississippi. My daddy looked like Mr. Payne up here.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And so what I'm trying to tell y'all, stop trying to disrespect me on some light-skinned shit, especially since you motherfuckers are out here trying to have light-skinned babies to look like me. Let me say it like this. All you black motherfuckers that got a problem with high yellow niggas, stop making them if you got a problem with them. You understand what I'm saying? Let's cut that shit out. Let's start it with that. But nevertheless, y'all stuck with me. I ain't going nowhere. Fuck all y'all. But either way, let's get back to the conversation because it's really a problem, fellas. And that's why y'all see I move my show back late. I know when I'm cussing. I got to wait till my kids go to sleep before I can say this shit. But for real though, man, like it's a problem, man. We let one white girl come up in here and just and then this boy, this Majors boy, he ain't learned the lesson. Leave them white women alone. Leave them white girls alone, fam.
Did you know he called the cops?
What?
He's the one who called the cops. He is the one who called the cops, and when they got there, she flipped the script on him and said that he beat him.
And
they arrested his ass.
I'm gonna call the police before that nigga said his masculinity is fucking fluid.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a solution. I got a solution. I got a solution if you did. Here's a solution. Since the banks are collapsing, which is a good thing for the men, because the men ain't never going to stop working. I think we should take some Ice Cube advice and just build an invisible wall, have a small freaking door, and just keep all of these women out. Because, we got to have some in.
No, you're going to have to speak. You speaking in parables and tongues. I need you to give me exactly what you mean. That shit's too late for that shit.
Listen. Everybody keeps saying we got a bill. So we all know that the banks are going to collapse. Things are going to reset. It's going to be the best time for our ass to come up.
But how is that going to stop us from loving
Listen, okay, because wherever economics is, them flies come. It's like the best shit. The flies always find the shit. We need to just keep their ass out of our space. Don't speak about
I
our
want to be in
issues.
the room with a bunch of dudes, man. I want some women.
But
around.
you have, but I did say, like-minded women. I did say that. So you just got to keep out these zeros and just build. Just keep going. And we throw away the rearview mirror because what's behind us does not matter. Lay down some landmines so if they try to follow us, shit, they just blow themselves up and we just keep moving forward.
That's too much work. Why can't we just say leave these white women alone? Why can't I say that?
You can say that.
Yeah.
Your black ass don't go to jail. Didn't your grandma tell you that? Leave them white women alone.
Yeah, my grandmother did. My grandmother did. She did tell me.
That goddamn white girl to my goddamn house, goddamn.
She said if she can't use the comb, don't bring her home. I remember her saying that.
But see, these young people, that's racism, Uncle D. You're being a racist. I'm just trying to save your black ass from going to the penitentiary. That's it. Anyway, Cody Mark said he likes strawberry buttermilk biscuits. Who else we got up there? I mean, I'm just saying, man, you know. And then you got black women that's bad. They got a whole swirling movement. You get to whooping your ass and taking your kids and put you on child support. Then you're gonna be mad. But go ahead, Alvin. Go ahead.
No, I mean we just have a like I said, we have a comprehension problem. It's just not an understanding of how things work. Right. I mean, for a bunch of guys to be arguing about who's going to be the best slave. Right. They didn't conceptually see the problem with that. Right. None of the guys on and I'm talking about this one particular, instance in particular, where a group of black men can't look at the screen and see that the optics are bad. Right, like they're yelling and screaming at each other, all everything except for a child of God. And this little white girl's in one of the little boxes, like sitting there, prissy and so. And the host of the particular show was letting it go on.
Yeah, it's a
you know what I'm saying?
Man.
It's a spectacle. Exactly. Why are we okay being a spectacle? Is my problem. No pride,
and no self-esteem. That's what
there it is. About. Okay, we got to start there. Let
me read my man Jay said. Somebody said having a white woman is his reparations. Please put this better on. I know that's what I'm dealing with. See how hard my job, and I got to be out here defending y'all. This is the bullshit I got to defend. Y'all a group of people that the Most High gave me to defend. You see what I'm saying? This who I got to defend. You see what I mean? Look at this, y'all.
Alvin.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
The reason why.
Yeah,
it's because it was white box. That's all. That's why. At the core of it, after all the intellectual, the schooling, the whatever, it's a white box up for grabs, and everybody like, ooh, me, no, me, and they fighting over it, bro.
Yeah,
put their cape on. I'll save you, white woman. That's what they did.
That's exactly what they did.
I think she's an agent.
Is it embarrassing? Has it got to the point where it's embarrassing yet?
It's beyond.
Hell yeah.
Way past that point.
I still think she's a paid agent. I think she's an agent, man.
See, listen, the Crimson Cure said two things. She said when the white man comes for whatever we try to do as black, they'll send a
He's gonna send a woman.
She'll send a missionary or a white woman.
Bingo.
Those are the two things and I agree with
the Honorable Minister
100%.
Louis Farrakhan and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said that.
Khalid Muhammad said it too.
But she probably got it from them.
Yeah. But I mean, I don't think some people know enough to be. It was embarrassing when I saw black people fighting over which one of you Negroes on the other side of the Atlantic make the best slave. That was embarrassing when they missed that. Like you didn't just see what she did. She got you Negroes fighting over who can make me the most money. That's what that white woman did. Oh no, black Americans aren't as industrious as or African. What did she say? My monkeys are better than the monkeys.
Yeah, basically.
What do you mean by my Africans? Africa is not a fucking country, it's a continent. A very diverse continent. You see what I mean?
Actually, that shit cut people. I swear. When she said
I don't understand how y'all didn't see that she's pitting one against the other.
Gold
I
game.
just saw a content creator endorse Cynthia G. Because Cynthia G came out and said something. I saw a content creator actually endorse Cynthia G because she spoke against the white girl. I said, man, I said Cynthia G. I
They
said,
take us as a joke, man.
Some guys don't know how to operate. They gotta
in
be
disorder. Y'all in disorder. I'm glad I left y'all.
Out of
I'm
control.
glad I left y'all back in January. Remember when I made a public statement? I said, I ain't
Yeah.
fucking with you niggas no more. I'm out. Remember I said that?
Mr. Palmer said it to everybody. Sue, you said it. You did say it.
Yeah, and I seen this coming. I told y'all a year ago. I knew it. You let that white woman in here. She got y'all ear. You got all these people running over there. That's gonna be your new leader. And whether you like it or not, just Pearly Samuels is your new leader. How do I know? Because she's the one all y'all running up behind. She's the one y'all talking about every day. You see what I mean? That's just new leader. She's the leader of the monkey crew. That's what they calling us. One white woman. She just got. That's what she did. All these intellectuals and lawyers and all these doctors and all y'all running up behind that white woman.
One white woman who's a 4 on the Richter scale. Ain't that something?
It don't even matter.
I say 3.
What did my man say who passed away? That white skin. What did my man say about that white skin? It does away with so many impediments and blemishes to black people. You're sick people. Let me be serious for a minute.
Okay.
You're sick people. You're sick people. And it shows. And every time I think that we're making progress, revert right back to who you always have been. And I'm going to say this again, you black Americans specifically, and I'm talking to my brothers and sisters, you will never have peace in this country because you're a stolen people on a stolen land. I don't care how many made up religions these motherfuckers come up with telling you that you're the Native Americans and all that shit. You are a stolen people from West Africa and South Africa and Central. You're African people, and you were dragged over here in the bellies of ships against your will. Your people helped sell you in here, and another group of people kept you here and kept you oppressed. You will never have peace in this country. You will always be a second and third class citizen. You will never be treated as equal. I don't care how close you get to white. I don't care if you're dating a white woman. That white woman can lie on you, and you still be the one to suffer and go to jail. A white woman can come amongst us, and your love and infatuation with that whiteness will cause for you to divide from your people, from your brothers and sisters that you used to call friend. Same thing happens to white men. Let a white man come up here and start talking to these black women and telling them they should love themselves and whatnot. You think Derek Jackson is bad? You see what I'm saying? Let goddamn Bill Abercrombie come up in here, and this whole thing will be divided. You're easily divided people. You're weak people, and this is what we need to address. And I'm not talking, and it's not that white woman's fault. It is not just Pearly Things' fault that you Negroes are so easily divided. Just like it's not any of these politicians who come to our community and get us to vote this way and that way, which goes against our interests. It's not any of these actors or actresses or these singers who come in and take our stuff and use it, and then we divide it. But I like Justin Timberlake. It's not their fault that they taking advantage of us. If I got a football team and the opposing offense can run through our defense, is it their fault for being good, or is it our fault for not putting up the right defense? You see what I'm saying? We have to protect our things. We got to protect ourselves. I'm not mad at white people for doing what's in their own best interest. I'm never mad at the motherfucker who whoops your ass. You see what I'm saying? If you get your ass whooped, that's your motherfucking fault. I'm not mad at that. I've been stomped. I've been beat. I got my ass whooped. I learned. I'm not going to be mad at white people for continually whooping our ass. And we see them whooping our ass. And we could do something about it if we just unified and say, you ain't going to whoop our ass like that no more. But you won't. What happens when white people start whooping our ass? Half of you Negroes run over there and help them whoop our ass. Half of the ones that left sit on the sideline and say, I don't want to get involved. And so you left with a quarter of the black people saying, this is bullshit. And then they turn on each other. We get in a circular firing squad. And then the white people sit back and say, see, they the same monkeys they always been. And it don't matter if it's in America. It don't matter if it's in the UK. It don't matter if it's in the motherland, it don't matter wherever it is. We still the same people, this sick group of people that love others more than we love ourselves. There's absolutely no reason we should have more beef for our African brothers and our Jamaican brothers and our West Indian brothers than we have for this white woman. But right now, we've divided ourselves up. And I'll play the FBA game with you. I'll play that. I'll play I'm from Trinidad and I'm from Jamaica and I'm from motherfucking, I'm light skinned and you dark skinned and I'm from South Africa. You got South African kicking Nigerians out of their country. All of y'all are one big Negro to the rest of the world. To the Asians, to the Chinese, to the Europeans, to the Central Asian, you're one big Negro. And until we come together as a people, nothing's going to change. And that's not going to happen until you start having self-respect, till we start teaching self-respect to ourselves. So nobody's going to be able to come between us and say, yeah, I can do your job better than you. Let me come look at me. You love them folk, man. Y'all love them folk, man. You love their things. Why you think our African brothers sold us into slavery? We have been doing well for thousands of years. White man comes from Europe with a pot and some gunpowder.
That's it.
Give me 30 of your Negroes, put them on the boat, and for some fucking firecrackers and a cooking pot. We ain't been eating good in Africa. You said for the 1,000 years we ain't been eating good. Why do we need the white man's pot? You understand what I'm saying? The white man come in with a horse and say, oh yeah, here, give me 15 Negroes. I give you this horse. You ain't seen a fucking zebra before. It's a four-legged question. We know what it does. You understand what I'm saying? And so it's still, as long as you, as black people, put that much on what white people have and what you never had your own. We got Nigerian people that making cars over there, but your ass is gonna buy a BMW. I know it. Hell, we got Nigerians. You know why so many cars being stolen in Philadelphia right now? Ask the fucking Italian mafia why. They taking the Russian mafia and they turn and you niggas will work together with some criminal shit. The Italian mafia and the German mafia is hiring street niggas in Philadelphia to steal and jack cars, and they putting them on boats and they sending them to Nigeria. That's where y'all getting the Mercedes Benzes and stuff from. And the reason carjacking has gone up is because you got these automatic cars that won't start without the key fob there. So they got, instead of just stealing the cars like they used to, they outright carjacking. That's what's going on over there. But at the end of the day, you want that white money? Our black brothers in Nigeria want these German cars, and this is what we're dealing with. And so until you start having self-respect and loving yourself, nothing's going to change, fella. I love y'all, but fuck me. My love.
Nah, you cool, man.
That white woman tell you she love you, she appreciate you. Y'all all up in her ass. White man tell you that, you all up in his ass. You got a black man who is renowned as one of the best attorneys in America. That's me, motherfuckers. Let me show you, since y'all like white people, let me show you my white friends. Since y'all don't think this motherfucker's questioning whether I'm not even a fucking lawyer. This is how crazy shit is. So I just settled the case with these white folks right here. See that? That's me in federal court last year. I know you can't see their faces. $40 million case. This is what I'm doing in the daytime. I come up here and talk to you Negroes every goddamn night. I got 60,000 subscribers. That white woman shows up in March or June of last year. She got 1.5 million subscribers. You see what I'm saying? Y'all did that. Y'all made it hot. You see what I mean? It's Negroes I ain't even talked to. They all up in her cha-chas. It's your fault, brothers. And it's the sister's fault too, because we got a fixation with whiteness. But anyway, that ain't my motherfucking problem. Anyway, LaShawn Jones, you said nothing but the truth on the D. I love y'all. We got healing to do. I hope y'all take this message from a place of love. I don't mean no harm. I meant what I said though. But either way, shout out to R. Payne, Mr. Holden, Mr. Allen, Mr. Gerald, and Mr. P Money. Always good to have y'all in here. Other than that, man, God bless y'all. I love y'all. I'm out.
Next one.